Good morning, everybody. We're so grateful to have our friend Mike Ludwick playing for us this morning. Take it away, Mike.
Good morning, everyone. So when the sermon is called Changes, for those of us of a certain age or a certain amount of musical knowledge, you know that sounds very like a David Bowie song called Changes. So let's do it, why not? Still don't know what I was waiting for, and my time was running wild. A million dead-end streets. Every time I thought I'd got it made, it seemed the taste was not so sweet. So I turned myself to face me. I never caught a glimpse how the others must see the faker. I'm much too fast to take that test. Changes, turn and face the strange. Changes, I don't want to live a richer life. Changes, turn and face the strange. Changes, is gonna have to live a different life. Time may change me, but I can't trace time. I watch the ripples change the size, but never leave the stream of warm impermanence. So the days flow through my eyes, still the days seem the same. And these children that you spit on as they try to change their worlds, their menial consultations, they're quite aware of what they're going through. Changes, turn and face the strange. Changes, don't tell them to grow up on out of it. Changes, turn and face the strange. Changes, where's your shame? You left us up to our necks in it. Time may change me, but you can't trace time. Strange fascination, fascinating me. Oh, changes are taking the pace I'm going through. Changes, turn and face the strange. Changes, look out, you holy rollers. Changes, turn and face the strange. Changes, most everybody here is already older. Time may change me, but I can't trace time. I said that time may change me, but I can't trace time.
Our opening words come from Arlene Goff. Thresholds. We cross them every day, from room to room, from outside to inside and back again. From here to there, from anywhere to everywhere, from age to age. Each threshold offers an opportunity for change, for renewal, for transformation, from what we were and what we are to what we can be. In this hour, in this place, we cross the threshold from our everyday into space and time, attuned to the other, to the sacred, to the holy, into an awareness of new life, pregnant with possibilities. How will we be renewed this moment? How will we be changed by this hour? How will we be transformed through this gathering of the beloved community? Come, you longing, thirsty souls, let us worship together. Now, if you'll ensure that your electronic devices are silenced, we will enter into our sacred time together.
Good morning. Today's story is based on the book After the Fall by Dan Stantat. My name is Humpty Dumpty, and this was my favorite spot, high up on the wall. Yeah, I know it's an odd place for an egg to be, but I loved being close to the birds. Then one day, I fell. Yeah, I'm sort of famous for it. Folks call it the Great Fall, but that sounds a little grand. It was really just an accident, but it changed my life forever. Now, fortunately, all the king's men managed to put me back together again. Well, for the most part. There's some things that couldn't be healed with bandages and glue. Now, after that day, I became afraid of heights. I was so scared that it even kept me from enjoying some of my favorite things. Like if my favorite cereal box was high up on a shelf in the grocery store, forget about it. You couldn't get me to go up a ladder. Nope. I walked past this wall every day, and I would think about climbing it again. Oh, I really miss the birds high above the city, but I could never do it because I knew accidents happen, right? I eventually settled for just watching the birds. Yeah, but it wasn't the same. Then one day, an idea flew by. But making airplanes was a little harder than I thought. Oh, it was easy to get paper cuts and scratches too. But day after day, I kept trying and trying until I got it just right. Yeah, my plane was perfect. Now, it flew like nothing could stop it. I hadn't felt that happy in a long time. Now, unfortunately, though, it was easy. It was easy to get paper cuts and scratches too, but day after day, I kept trying and trying till I got it just right. But it wasn't quite the same as being up on the wall and watching the birds. Unfortunately, though, accidents happen, as they always do. Man, I almost walked away again. My plane, way up there on the ledge. But then I thought about it. All the time I'd been working on the plane, and then I thought about it, all the things that I had missed. I decided I was going to climb the wall. But the higher I got, the more nervous I felt. I didn't want to admit it, but I was terrified. I didn't look up and I didn't look down. I just kept climbing a little at a time until suddenly I was no longer afraid. Yeah, so maybe now you won't think of me as the egg famous for falling. Hopefully you'll remember me as the egg that got up again and learned how to fly. Oops. Because life begins when you get back up. The end.
Okay, now it's time for us to invite our singers. Are there singers? And we're going to sing our first hymn together. So if you can, rise in body and or spirit. We're going to sing our first hymn on 360, Here We Have Gathered. Thank you guys so much. Good morning again and welcome to our Unitarian, of course. Welcome to our Unitarian Universalist service. My name is Claudia Marshall. My pronouns are she and her. And I'm grateful to be your worship leader this morning. Welcome to Buckman Bridge Unitarian Universalist Church, or as we refer to it affectionately as BBUUC. If you are new to this church, our faith, you'll find Unitarian Universalists are explorers. It's like one of my old favorite TV shows, Star Trek. We're on a mission, a journey to find our individual truths and find purpose and meaning in our lives. What's great about Unitarian Universalism is that unlike other traditional churches, we don't have a required creed or dogma to which you must adhere. Rather, we have a shared belief in our values and covenant of our denomination. We strive to live out those values in our individual journeys of faith. If you are visiting for the first time, welcome. If you're returning, we're glad that you are learning more about us. Please join us after the service for refreshments where we spend time socializing. If you have any questions about Unitarian Universalism, please feel free to ask any member, and they will be happy to answer you, or if they can't, they'll find somebody who can answer your question. We also offer regular classes for you to learn about our church and our denomination. And perchance, if you're at the point of wanting to join our church, check with the volunteers sitting at the welcome table for information. Again, we welcome you to Buckman Bridge Unitarian Universalist Church. At this time, we're going to light our chalice. I'm asking Chris Kynes to come and light our chalice. Our reading this morning comes from our sermon writer, Michelle Collins. Changes abound around us, within us, between us, in our communities, our neighborhoods, and our faithful, beloved communities. Changes abound. May we each find the balance point we need as we move through our ever-changing world, the balance between the old and the new, between the known and the unknown, between the familiar and perhaps bold and risky possibilities that may be there waiting. Members of BBUUC came together to develop our commitment to each other and how we choose to be in relationship together. We recite this each Sunday to affirm our covenantal relationship. Please remain seated and join me in reciting our congregational covenant, printed in your order of service. We covenant to engage one another with honesty, kindness, and respect, to value diversity, seek understanding of our differences, and practice gracious accountability with love, and empathy. We make these promises to those who are here and those yet to come, so that we may be a safe, welcoming, and beloved community of acceptance, learning, and frustration. If you all rise in body and in spirit, we're going to sing our call to worship.
So as you'll soon see, the sermon chit-chit changes is sort of a lighthearted look at change. There is an aspect, though, that you'll hear, which is called the rollback. Change doesn't always go the right way, and this song is an update to times they are a-changin'. Come gather round, people, I'll tell you a tale about this nation of ours that ain't too big to fail. White nationalism, too many hail. The clock's turning back and we're flailing. Well, we better start voting or we won't prevail, 'cause the times, they are changing. Authoritarians, they're on the rise, and we're back on our heels. We should not be surprised. With every step forward, they push hard back twice. Our rights are denied and they're gaining. Soon they'll be implementing Project 2025, 'cause the times, they are a-changin'. Reproductive freedom is under attack, and if we don't turn out, it may not come back. With voter suppression, they keep the deck stacked. Election cops intimidating. Now will we just give up and not fight them back, 'cause the times, they are changing. They take public money and give it to private schools that make children follow their religious rules. Jefferson wasn't perfect, but he wasn't a fool. Church and state need a wall separating, or we'll have a theocracy. Do you think that'd be cool? 'Cause the times, they are changing. Two ancient people vie to rule the land. One can't tell the truth, the one can hardly stand. The liar looks good and appears in command. He'll win and his sycophants will be cheering, and he'll seek retribution when his power's at hand, 'cause the times, they are changing. We thought we made progress, now it's hard to tell. What was done in the past is all going to hell, and we're all so busy looking down at ourselves to notice the world we're creating. If we don't look up soon, we won't see how Rome fell, 'cause the times, they are changing. For the times, they are changing. For the times, they are changing.
Thank you. This is part of the service where we give out of our abundance, out of our sustenance. We are giving into the work that brings us so much joy and brings joy to others. We are the hands and the feet of our community. Whether you use one of the envelopes in your hymnal or the QR code, we appreciate your generosity towards this local church. Will Robert Clark and Bill Crystal forward? And as you touch the plate, come forward. Okay, touch the plate, as we pass it out, and, we'll sing when we transition.
Good morning. The sermon this morning is entitled, as you've heard, Changes. It was written by Reverend Dr. Michelle Collins and first presented by her in 2020. And even though I really haven't changed a word of it, I think you'll find that it's just as current in 2024 as it was when she first presented it. I would invite you to see if you agree with that as you hear what she said. Reverend Collins begins. Something that not many people know about me is that I'm a roller coaster junkie. Not just like to ride coasters, but will wait in line for hours to ride one I haven't before, or even that I've already ridden twice that day already. The taller and faster, the better. Lap bars are better than over-the-head systems and 5-point harnesses, no matter how fast the ride is. Hands in the air the entire time, and always sitting in the front row, no matter how long I had to wait in line to get there. There are many different types of rides and attractions in amusement parks, as well as many different designs for roller coasters. On the coaster side of things, there are the ones that simply shoot you up in the air as high as possible, then bring you down from the highest point to the bottom, ideally with only a lap bar. There are the ones that rely on what's called air time, which is how much time you spend floating weightless as you go over the rise of a hill. The total air time, the more it is, the better, of course. There are all steel coasters, which is the more modern looking coaster, and there are all wood coasters, which frankly bang you around too much, and I've had to admit that my body just can't take those anymore. And there are also the hybrid ones that are mostly built of wood but have a steel track for the coaster cars. Since wooden ones rely entirely on gravity to keep the car down, and only the steel ones can hold the wheels of the car and allow it to tip around more, the hybrid ones really mess with your head because when you look at it, you think it's only gravity holding it down. But unbeknownst to you, the steel wheels are holding it down and it can be designed more adventurously. Your mind can't process that, and you think to yourself, oh no, I'm going to die. Which in my book is an excellent thought to have when riding a roller coaster. Roller coasters are an oft-used metaphor for talking about change and the ups and downs of life. Today, I want to open up the metaphor and talk about it in terms of the entire amusement park. Although perhaps we should call it a theme park, because sometimes change isn't very amusing at all. There's another of those oft-used statements that the only thing certain in life is change. While at times it might seem flippant to say that when one is in the midst of struggling with one or more changes, it is absolutely true that the world seems full of change in recent times. The constant cultural change and evolution, political changes and challenges in our country, global climate change, the changes brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic, and of course, changes right here within our beloved community and congregation. And to that, the inevitable changes we face in our lives, our families, and many of our friends. That's a lot of change. Sometimes it can feel like one too many. I remember when my daughter was younger, I would tease her on her birthdays that I wasn't ready to use her new age yet because I wanted some more time before she left her old age. While it was teasing and she would either laugh or roll her eyes at me or both, it was also true in many ways. Sometimes it would feel like I was witnessing light speed levels of change in her. There are lots of different ways of thinking about change and talking about change. And I'd like us to consider one of the classic models for change today, the one from popular author William Bridges. He describes 3 phases in a change. First, the ending of what has been in place. Then the middle or neutral zone, and then the new beginning. First is what kicks off the change, which can be something intentional or unintentional. This can be a lot of different things. On a personal level, a new diagnosis of an illness, the death of someone you care about, a new job, a move, retirement, and many other possibilities. For an organization, it could be the announcement of the departure of your minister or a staff member, the end of a favorite event or program, or the impacts of global pandemic. Endings can be a confusing time, and they can be an overwhelming time and filled with a variety of emotions. There might be resistance or upset, but there also might be relief or joy when change comes, if the change is welcome. Grief experts Russell Friedman and John James define loss as a change in or end to a familiar pattern of behaviors. A change in something that is known and familiar, losing something that is comfortably known in exchange for something that you don't know what it will be yet. Then there comes the time in between, the neutral zone. It's the unknown time, filled with uncertainty about what will come next and what that might look like. I've heard many times that one of the elements of spiritual maturity is being comfortable with uncertainty and ambiguity and the like. That sounds great and all, but if that's really a key to spiritual maturity, I admit I'm going to have trouble ever getting there. I don't like uncertainty. Change, I'm fine with. It's the not knowing that gets to me. In reality, there is a huge variety of reactions and feelings that folks may have during this in-between time. Low morale, anxiety, or uncertainty about one's place in what is going on, skepticism, but there can also be energy and an enthusiasm and an explosion of new ideas. Folks deal with change and the processes of change in different ways. Now, it is true that change brings about stress. Not that stress is inherently good or bad, though. There are actually 2 main types of stress. Distress, the stress that's harder on us, and eustress, which comes from the same root word as euphemism for something good, or eulogy for saying good things about someone. So eustress is good stress. That's the exciting energy of change. Let's go back to the theme park. There are folks who love theme parks and the rides and the crazy things they put their bodies through. And There are folks who aren't fans of those crazy things and may not even go to the park at all in the first place. For some folks, the rides are distressing, and for others, they represent eustress and are exciting. By the way, that's spelled E-U-S-T-R-E-S-S, not Y-O-U. So the eustress is the good kind of change and the good kind of stress. And it varies from ride to ride also. I love roller coasters, but there are some rides I won't get anywhere near. The ones that swing you back and forth, and those spinny ones that can make you dizzy. On the other hand, my daughter loves both of those, but she's less keen about the fast roller coasters. Something that is exciting for one person may be stressful for another. Change is like that. It's usually hard to let go of what is familiar in favor of what is unknown. And there is often grief involved, even though it may look different for different folks. Sometimes it does take being gentle with yourself or others, knowing that there may be some folks who have difficulty letting go of what has been, or may have mixed feelings about the next part of the journey. As a church community, we are made up of many different folks, from those who have been here for lots of years to those who have only just recently peeked in. But another feature of this in-between time is the possibility for building energy and excitement as you imagine what might be ahead. Now, for coaster fans, it's not just the nearly endless list of different roller coasters to try. There are the holy grails of roller coaster. You can probably guess that one of those is being on a coaster when it breaks down. I'm not sure why it's such a thing, but apparently it's some sort of rite of passage, and you're not really a roller coaster fanatic until this has happened to you. And yes, I've been there, although it was totally non-exciting since we had only gone about 2 feet from the original position. But we were stuck on it for about 30 minutes. Although maybe there is a metaphor that we can get from this, because wouldn't it be great to be part of a church or part of a culture that celebrates failure and times that we mess up and don't hit the mark? There is often a bit too much perfectionism running around. One of the real holy grails of the roller coaster world is called a rollback. Remember the coaster I talked about at the beginning, the one that just shoots you straight up in the air and then over a really tall hill and lets you back down? Well, sometimes, because of some unknown combination of factors, temperature of the tracks, weather and wind, the exact amount of electricity that charges the electromagnetic starters, who knows what else. For some reason, once in a blue moon, the coaster doesn't have enough energy to make it over the hill. It shoots up there and then stalls in motion before going backwards down to the starting point. That is a rollback. I've never seen one, but I've talked about them and fantasized about them every time I've been in line for that type of coaster. And I've even taken a selfie with the sign that describes rollbacks, but they are super rare. However, they aren't all that rare in real life, are they? We all get ready and set for something to happen, or for some project to move forward, or for some trip or other event we've been looking forward to. We get all ready and set, and then for some unknown combination of reasons, we can't get past the first hill, and we return backwards, it seems, back to where we started. Ever been there? Unlike how we can see the track of a roller coaster or any other sort of theme park ride, and not only see the track, but watch other folks go through the ride to see what it will be like. Unlike that, we don't have perfect vision of what's going to happen as we move forward with changes. Another thing that complicates change is when we have more than one change, possibly even many, many different changes that are all overlapping and happening to us seemingly at the same time. That's a pretty good description for 2024 so far, isn't it? She said 2020, but I knew I could say 2024. It makes me think of one particular design for roller coasters, the spaghetti coasters. Yes, there really are coasters that are called spaghetti coasters. And they look exactly what you might think of them to look like with that kind of a name. A pile of cooked spaghetti that has been picked up and then dropped all together in a pile, a bit tangled, an intermingled pile, with the track zipping in and out of the mess, and you're never sure which way you're going to go next. These can be a little disconcerting because when you're on the ride, you don't see what's around the next corner. And when you're watching it before getting on, you don't get to see the whole ride since it's hidden in a pile of spaghetti. And it can sometimes feel like your head is just inches away from an overhanging piece of track, even though it isn't. But there is some good news about riding a spaghetti coaster, either metaphorically or in real life. One of the ways that it keeps going through all the twists and turns is that there are speed-up points along the way. The ride knows that you'll lose all energy and not want to move anywhere to be able to get through the next curve in the road, so it gives you some extra energy to propel you along. We've got each other as we go along this journey, and we can also find resilience in many other ways, from unexpected places, as well as the wisdom of our own past experiences. And no roller coaster is indefinite in length. The longest one in the world is only 7 minutes and 24 seconds, and most are quite a bit shorter. There is an ending to the ride and an ending to the neutral zone, a time when new beginnings are set to emerge. We will get through the change in whatever form it may be, however it may look, in whatever unexpected ways we find it. There is an ending to the ride when we can get off and get our bearings and see where our road may be taking us next. Unless, of course, there's no one waiting in line and the ride attendant says you can go around and get right on again if you want to. All in all, that's probably more than you ever wanted to know about roller coasters, and probably more metaphors for change than you ever wanted to know either. But change is like that. It's got so many variations. It is change, after all, and can come at us in so many different ways. And what I can say for the next couple of years applies also. Whatever twists and turns may lie ahead of us, just strap yourself in, keep your arms inside the coaster at all times, although holding them up in the air is totally recommended, and let's get ready for a ride. Thank you.
That was wonderful, Elizabeth. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're almost toward the end, so we need our choir, our singers. Sing with our closing hymn on page 6, just as long as I have breath, and we will sing all 3 verses. Please rise in body and in spirit. Okay. Chris, could you come and extinguish our chalice, please? Our closing words by Cheryl Block. As we go forward into this frightening, exhilarating, miraculous world, may we offer our comfort to the afflicted, our home to those who are lonely, and our wish for all to be safe. Namaste. Blessed be.